This is our pre-observation with Beth. Thanks, Beth,
Of
for
course,
taking the time.
no problem.
All right, so I'm just going to ask you a couple questions about what I'm going to see today.
Okay,
What are your objectives going to be? And I'm going to take notes too, if you don't mind.
that's fine.
Okay.
The objectives for the day is that the students will be able to cite strong and thorough textual evidence to support their analysis of the text. Also that they will use that evidence to make inferences from the text. So that is our main objective as we go forward today in the next couple of days with the lesson.
And I'm assuming that the inferencing is because of our PLC goal?
Partly for the PLC goal, partly because it is part of the state standard. So this is
Okay.
covering the Common Core, or the Minnesota State Standard 11.4.1.1.
Wow, you have it memorized?
It's right in front of me.
Wow,
Yeah.
very good.
Yep.
Okay. And what teaching methods or grouping models will be used in teaching the lesson?
So there will be a couple of things that I'm going to be doing. One, they're going to be, I'm not sure if I know specifically what you mean by grouping models, but what we'll be doing today is they'll be listening to the text. First, I'm going to introduce a worksheet to them, which is a character worksheet, which has them picking up quotations to give their first impression and their description of a character, so that they can kind of understand the characters a little bit better as they go forward.
And what's the
text is Great Gatsby.
Okay.
The text is from the Great Gatsby.
Okay.
So they'll be taking characters from the Great Gatsby because it's a pretty character-driven novel,
Okay.
and they'll be using those the direct quotations to help them understand better about the characters and kind of make inferences about who they are as people and how
Okay.
that drives the plot from the text of
Okay.
the text. So. So what we'll be doing today is I'll introduce this worksheet to them, which has a couple of different spaces for them to work with. They'll also be listening to a little snippet from the text,
Okay.
and then they'll be working in groups to basically dive into the character of Tom Buchanan,
Okay.
who's kind of the first character that we get a lengthy description of in the text today.
Okay.
So we'll be doing an audio book, a little snippet from the audio book. They'll be working in groups or pairs to work on Tom Buchanan, and then we'll report back to the class just to make sure that they understand what they're doing and that they're able to do what I'm asking them to do with the text today.
Okay, good. And then I'm assuming that this will be the way that you'll know that the students mastered the objective?
This isn't necessarily my assessment of the
Okay.
objective, but this is going to be the way I'll track them as we go to make sure that they're understanding the characters and they're using text to make inferences and to show me what they know about the characters.
Okay. So at the end of this lesson, how will you know that they specifically are just, it's kind of an ongoing thing, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll be assessed. I haven't quite determined the assessment that I'm going to use yet. They'll either be asked to write an essay or they will be given a test about it, but I haven't decided which method I'm going to go with yet.
Okay. Any special circumstances that I should be aware of before I watch the lesson?
It can be a pretty big class. Today's
Okay.
kind of weird because of lots of snow, so it's hard to know what attendance will look like.
Okay.
Also, we've been having some issues with having enough books, so you might see some kind of
okay.
scrambling. I have it on our Nooks, so that will be available to the students. And also, everybody should have brought their books. But special circumstances, this is a college prep class, a wide mix of students, both ethnically, ethnic, racial background, skill level, but
Okay.
grade level. So it's kind of and it can be kind of a big group.
Okay. And then anything specific with you that you want me to observe, or any feedback you would like, or?
I think certainly classroom management is something that I'm always looking to improve upon. And just organization of the lesson. Sometimes I get a little bit disorganized, which can cause the students to feel a little bit like they don't know what's going to go on next. So if you
That surprises me.
Well, sometimes I get a little scattered.
Yeah.
I can be pretty scattered. I know what I'm going to be doing with them, but I get off on a tangent sometimes, and things get off track quickly, and so anything that you notice there would be helpful.
Okay.
And we might also be going over their dialectical journals. I found it from a couple students. They just told me they didn't understand what to do, so that you'll see me doing a little bit with that today
Okay.
too.
And what is that?
Dialectical journal is basically a 2-column journal that they'll be using. It's just
They use it all the time?
This is their first time that they've used it this year.
Oh, okay.
I thought they understood it, but a couple of kids have said, I have no idea what I'm doing. So So,
Okay.
so I'll be working with them a little bit on making sure that they understand. It's really about working with quotations from the text and just diving into those quotes with their ideas, opinions, connections, that kind of thing.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
no problem.
All right, we'll see you later.
Sounds good.